character sheet.
No, you should be level
We
3.
talk about how all this dice came from America. I want all my
crazy.
dice.
You brought all your dice. Well, of course.
my
You're
books.
you're a dice goblin. You gotta bring them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta, just in case. I thought
priority.
about only bringing 1 or 2, and I was like, that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
So,
No,
one of
100%.
my
Fully
bags
expected a
overweight,
second.
100%.
Yeah, because what if some of the dice are unlucky? You know?
Exactly.
Like, what if you roll them and you're like,
The other
uh-oh, Korea just screwed this one up. I don't know, like...
Listen,
This one
different
doesn't work in this
zone-
time zone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This one apparently doesn't work on
Where's
Saturday.
You know, wouldn't put it past them, so.
say it's racist?
Yes.
All right. Let's get into
Remember,
this.
guys, you love me.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Tavern of Tomes. My name is RK Fox, and I am your tavern keeper. I'm joined today by my fellow storytellers, Kent Aldrich, Samuel Bowen, Christian Majewski, the one and only Rachel, and Alex Oak. And together, we're going to weave a world of myth and legend. The walls of my tavern are lined with leather-bound books filled with blank pages. Once a week here at the tavern, we open a tome at dusk and fill its pages with stories. The world outside is dark and scary. It has its beauties, but they're hard to see at night. So for the time being, let's leave this world and go adventure, shall we? Now, last we left off, the morning following Jack's imprisonment in the brig, Lucy and Straya and Vale went down to release Jack, finding instead an even more gaunt version of the entity sitting in the cell, introducing himself as Ati Disu. This new personality did apologize to Straya for Jack's actions, and he explained to the party a whole variety of things, spanning from his parents' work on 10th level magic, his mother's death, the voices in his head, his cryptozoology book, which contained a lot of notes regarding possible creatures to make pacts with, the reality of his pact with a magical entity which allowed him to do magic, and showed them some markings of chains on his arms. Furthermore, he reaffirmed that he believes it to be unwise to hand the Ravager over to the Psion, much less for it to be alive in general. The party attempted to put their heads together about why the Psion would even want the Ravager, but were unable to come to a conclusion, and decided that they would turn it in rather than turn on the Psion just because one person suggested it. The party decided to leave Dessau in the brig until they made port and sailed onward. Advanced word was sent to Alano to let the Psion know that the Ravager had been captured by the crew of the Tides Unsleeping, and the party was greeted by a parade of researchers. Huh?
The crew of the Tides Unsleeping and Lucian.
We get to that later.
No, it's always that way.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
For the
Yeah,
announcement.
refuses to affiliate with the Tides Unsleeping.
The super affiliates with himself.
Yes. And the party was greeted by a parade of researchers and a full armed guard who took the Ravager to the Palace of the Psion. The party, alongside the captain and the first mate, followed the parade, seeing the massive display which was made of this royal victory. As they were brought into the palace, they were led into something of an R&D lab, with a glass pane dividing them from another room into which the boulder containing the Ravager was loaded. The mystics in the lab used psionic magic to split the stone in half and released the Ravager. It was loose for mere seconds, however, before bands of light wrapped around it, pulled it taut, and began collecting data from it. While all of this was happening, Straya and Lucian alone were able to glance into the lower half of the now open boulder and saw some kind of writing in the interior. The party was quickly ushered on by the hand of the Psion that was directing them around the palace, being told that their presence was desired by the Psion himself, and that it was believed that research on the Ravager may be the key to the next evolution of psionic magic. Our party was led to the personal study of the Psion, and he greeted them humbly, thanking them for their service to the kingdom, repeating that they believe it may be the key to the next phase of psionic magic. Off to the side, the party saw the prince, heir to the throne, preoccupied by a series of books stacked up around him. Dessau was first to kick off the interaction, warning the Psion of the danger of the Ravager. it being the result of his family's endeavors into greater magics. The Psion assured him that they were not attempting beyond the ninth sphere, but were simply trying something new. Dessou accepted this and requested the Ravager's disposal as soon as it was no longer needed. The Psion heard this request, made no promise, but promised to do all he could to keep his kingdom safe. Satisfied with this response, Dessou remained silent, and Lucien spoke up, suggesting that Dessou be added to the research team regarding the Ravager, given his vast knowledge of the creature. The Psion ultimately turned this down, but wanted to collect Dessou's knowledge on the subject before he left. Meanwhile, Straya reached out telepathically to the Psion's son. They conversed for a while about his skills as a mystic, and while they telepathically spoke, Vale and Dessou attempted to determine if a teen romance was blooming in this quiet moment. To their frustration, neither Straya nor the Psion's son appeared to be thinking even remotely in that direction.
We tried, Sam. We tried.
And Straya
It just felt like
go.
the relationship was more like brother-sister type, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's like my little brother.
Straya was simply curious about this silent entity in the corner of the room. Straya spoke up, asking what the prince was doing to attempt to find a way to stay behind and learn a new psionic skill from him, in response to which he immediately became fundamentally uncomfortable. Straya essentially invited
Homeschoolers
herself... Huh?
Is it Homeschoolers Unite?
Oh, yeah. Straya essentially invited herself in, invited herself and walked over to the Psion, or walked over to the sun. Following this, the Psion asked for the names of the people who brought the Ravager, and the crew elected to stay anonymous aside from Lucien, who wanted specifically to be named. After the party left, Straya learned enough to use the psychic practice of information collection, which, when she becomes a more powerful mystic, she may choose to pick up. She then asked about his history as a mystic and if he would get in trouble if he used his magic. She divulged to him that, for her, psionic magic was very unusual where she grew up, and that she got in trouble for it while growing up. She told him about the fact that she cannot walk around freely and shared with him that she had dangerous information to tell him. Meanwhile, Lucien used some of his political connections, specifically some blackmail he had on a fellow politician, which he had intended to use for something else, to make it so that the wanted posters would not reflect the appearances of Vale and Straya anymore. Back in the Psion's study, Straya told Verlon IV that she needed his influence to clear her name and protect her, spilling in the process that she may have killed someone. She then took off her disguise, to which the prince quickly reacted, declaring that she needed to leave immediately, hurriedly assuring her that he would talk to his father about taking down the wanted posters. Straya was ushered back to the front gates of the palace, running into the party on the way out. Straya let them know about what she had told the prince, and though Lucien became stressed beyond belief, they made their way to an inn for the night called the Gilded Galleon. While Lucien was sleeping that night, he had what for him is a bizarre dream, in that he was the only one present. He was in a forest of some kind on a pathway on the edge of a cliff, with curious ruined stonework to his left, and the ocean, though maybe 100 feet below, to his right. On the stonework he could read in deep speech some writings which referenced Lithuania, the goddess of storms, nature, and fertility. He began to hear whispers beckoning, "Come to us," and followed them up the pathway to a zenith where the canopy overhead and around him broke, and he could see an island off in the distance from which the voices appeared to be originating. The voices came back in chorus, saying, "Is it safe? Are they ready for us? Come find us. We are ready to wake up." When Lucien asked them who they were, they responded by simply saying they didn't know. When asked why they were there, they responded saying that they didn't remember, but would upon waking. They declared that they wanted to help everyone, to which Lucien responded that everyone wasn't ready yet, but he was preparing the way. The voices beckoned one more time. Come find us when they're ready. Lucian proceeded to hang his feet off the cliff and muse upon having a dream all to himself. At the same time, Straya was also having an interesting night, as she was awoken by the voice of the shipwright, asking her, "Why have you returned? Have you come to claim your throne?" She discussed with the shipwright for a moment and was invited down to the docks when the shipwright determined that she did not know, quote, whose blood she carried. Straya went to sneak off to the docks, but not as sneakily as she may have desired, and was followed by Dessou. As Straya got to the end of a dock, the humanoid wooden form of the shipwright, bearing human eyes but otherwise bark and tree-like, rose out of the water and set foot on the edge of the dock, and vine-like tendrils hanging into the water off of its back trailed off into the night. In the conversation that followed, it was revealed that the shipwright was the second in command and closest ally to Straya's mother, the Renegade. It was revealed to Straya that the Renegade left behind her fleet and everything she had for fear of losing Straya to her grandfather, Verlon Charbon II, the previous scion, who would not approve of his son's pirate bride. Verlon Charbon II planned to hunt down Straya and her mother and have them killed to clear any claim to the throne outside of his approval. Straya's mother took the infant Straya's mother took the infant and fled to Omersel before they could get caught. But Straya's father, the modern-day scion, remained and stepped into a political marriage, out of which he had another child, the prince to whom Straya spoke mere hours ago. Straya asked if the shipwright was her ally, to which it responded, "I am still allied to the Renegade." Yes, you to me are the Renegade, you are all that remains of her. The shipwright gave Straya a location amongst the isles just outside of Sion's Bay, where she could find the shipwright's crew if she needed help, and Straya returned to the gilded galleon, being chased by one more telepathic message: "We will see you seated on the throne." Upon arriving at the inn, she began to pound on Lucian's door looking for advice. Lucian invited her in, and as soon as he turned around from shutting the door, Straya was immediately in tears. Lucian, unaware of what to do, patted her on the head, which turned Straya's mere crying into heavy sobbing. He handed her a pillow to try and help, and after Straya was able to calm down with little to no aid from Lucian, she communicated the content of her conversation with the shipwright. Lucian warned her against pursuing a meeting with the Scion, as it might cost her her life, but that he would attempt to arrange it if she asked, although he said that nobody should know outside of their party before such a meeting. In the meantime, he suggested that she get a good rest of the night's sleep, and offered that she could bring her mattress into the room just so that she didn't have to be alone. Following this, Dessou attempted to sneak into the palace of the Scion, in the direction of the R&D lab and the Ravager. He made a note of when the guards changed and also pondered to himself why the agents of Grim Predation appear to have vacated the city, even though the wanted posters are still up for Vale and Straya. Acting on none of this just yet, he returned for the night. Early the next morning, before anyone awoke, Lucian made arrangements that the breakfast would be brought to them, and they would not need to leave their room. He then began to prepare a table and chairs for the party to convene around the next morning for a bit of a family business meeting. When all were gathered, Straya explained the overarching concepts of the things she learned last night, leaving all flabbergasted. During this discussion, Lucian realized that Straya was not the illegitimate child, but instead the prince was, making Straya the true heir to the throne of the Scionarchy. In light of this, the party, mostly Lucian, decided that the most important thing at the moment was to keep Straya alive. Straya's big goal, however, was to speak with the Scion and see what he knew and if he still cared. Lucian said that this could be accomplished and invited Straya to come along with him as he went on some errands in the early morning before the Scion was to give a public address regarding the Ravager's capture to his watching kingdom. They collected various items of nice produce, and Lucien brought Straya to see his mother, a lower-class alcoholic woman who, though loving and mostly kind towards her son, is rambunctious, unobservant, and mildly incoherent. Throughout their interactions, it became clear that Lucien had since become the caregiver in the situation. The second stop on their trip was to a barracks of Alano's Psion Guard. In the barracks, they stopped to meet Captain Trudeau, the military figure who brought Lucien up and into the Psion's court, and was like a second mother to him. Meanwhile, the Vale and Dussault went searching for remnants of the Ghost Slayers or Grim Predation, to no avail. And Lorenzo went to find a book on druids, regrettably finding that druids are not well documented, but he was able to find a botany book, which, even more regrettably, was not in a language he could read, which was revealed in our last round of drinks. The party then trekked to the palace and were placed close to the front so that they could be displayed as they were announced. The Psion gave a presentation announcing the capture of the Ravager and its potential to aid in the advancement of psionic capability. In the midst of his speech, however, the sky was darkened by massive stones dipping below the clouds. A swarm of individuals wearing white masks with colored paints broke off from this larger floating stone city on smaller rocks, coming down, killing the Psion, and stealing what we can only assume to be the Ravager. The last thing we saw was black flame as Dessous launched a void fire flare into the air. And this is where we pick up our session. The crowd around you has begun to scream. People are panicking, and Lucien, you hear an extremely loud whistle, which you recognize as Captain Trudeau's call. As she shouts over the din to the Psion Guard, commanding them to usher the crowd away, to set up a perimeter, and you guys can see, just sort of out of your periphery, the Psion's body being pulled inside. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do?
I think me automatically hearing the whistle, seeing all of this happen, kind of denying, in my brain, not letting myself think about it, I just start getting people, like, the helping the military, helping, not the militia, whatever.
The Psion's Guard.
The Psion's Guard. Establish the perimeter, and probably just forgetting completely about the party, just walk away from them.
Okay, so Lucien just meanders off into the crowd, begins doing crowd control, and go ahead and just give me a charisma check, Lucien. Let's see how effectively you're doing this.
Charisma. Excuse me. I'm going to guide myself.
Yeah, go for it.
On this one. Sorry, my app is loading.
You're good.
Nice weather we got outside, huh? Okay.
I love how you say that despite the fact that we all have probably very different weather aside from you and Alex and Kent.
Persuasion, right?
Charisma, but you could do persuasion or intimidation if you'd like.
Okay, persuasion is higher.
Okay.
That would be a 17 with persuasion for me.
Okay, yeah, sure enough.
A 15 with just straight charisma.
Yeah, you were just announced by the Psion as an influential figure, and you kind of step off, and immediately I think Psion's guards start to like stop you, but then see you begin commanding with like a series of commands that and like ushering people in the way that they've been trained to do, and it becomes very clear to them, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. He'll help. Okay. And so they let you begin to aid.
Man, what kind of country is this where the bureaucrats let people help? Wow. Great nation.
Well, actually, this is the military
I'm the bureaucrat in this situation.
listening to a bureaucrat.
Fair enough. Never mind.
So everything is okay. Everything is as it should be.
There's nothing to worry about here.
I know that you said the Psion's body is like being pulled in and people are running, but I think Straya is just gonna try to get towards the Psion and
So to be clear, the Psion was announcing from like a sort of almost like a balcony pulpit that is like 30 feet in the air.
Okay, is there like a door below? Like it looks like I can get into that building.
Wait,
There,
actually, if I may, how small is Straya? How big is Vale? And how high do I have to roll to throw her to that balcony?
so you would have to roll a nat 20. You are trying to throw a human vertically 30 feet.
I'm also 5'11".
That does not.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that 5'11".
Straya's a big girl.
That's right. That's right.
That's like trying to throw someone who's just a little bit shorter than me 30 feet straight into the air.
Like trying to throw somebody who's my height.
Yes, yeah, that's
And Vale
ridiculous.
is not a cheerleader.
No.
No, never mind.
So, yeah, I will say, Straya, there is, like, it's the front entrance to the palace, but you would see that there are Psion's guards, just like, some of them have rushed out to do crowd control, but some of them are still, like, standing guard because someone does still need to be watching the door. So you would be trying to slip past Psion's guard themselves if you were to try this.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna walk up, but at the same time, I'm gonna try and yell towards Lonnie, as I've been calling him.
Okay.
If he's still out there, be like, Lonnie, let me in. She's just irrational. There's no.
Yeah.
This is probably not gonna work, but she's gotta try.
I'm not even gonna specify a skill, because I will let this work on a nat 20. So you just need to roll a nat 20.
Come on, Rachel.
Bet. I'm
Use
also
your Korean
guidancing
luck.
myself.
Nice.
So guidance is
Right.
not going to have an impact. The number on the die needs to be a 20.
Oh, it's a 19.
Oh.
Dang.
I feel the pain in my kidneys. And it's not the usual kidney pain I have.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see Verlon Charbon the Fourth, Psion right now, he's firstly, you can barely see like what is probably his, like the top of his head over that balcony as he like is indoors, probably weeping over the body of his father.
Yeah.
So
It might be a little
Well,
distracting.
I'm gonna like yell at him, but then I'm just gonna like kind of be irrational towards the guard, like trying to push my way in. Like clearly it's not gonna work, but I'm just gonna like sit and like, you know.
yeah, no, 100%. I totally get it. Yeah, immediately they're like, no, miss, you need to be over there.
Like, no, you don't understand. I have to get in. You have to let me in.
We cannot let you in, I am afraid.
No, it's the most important. Like I know just what happened, but you just trust me. You have to let me in.
No, we
and
cannot
just
let
that's
you
just gonna
in.
go on.
We cannot let you. And that goes on.
I'm standing behind her so that if she does anything that would get her arrested, I pull her away before that, but I let her...
Yes. Yeah, and it's really, you guys could, like, Vale, you're taking a quick look around. The public is beginning to be ushered off, and a perimeter is being set up. The giant floating rock in the sky is, like, lifting away. It's like they've done what they came to do, and they're gone. You could see that there's no immediate danger, and what's really going on right now is the Psion's Guard is just trying to gain control of the situation. And so that's part of the reason why Straya is not immediately being tackled, is because she is one woman who was just located in a place of high esteem, and
Right, she's not a problem currently.
and she's not posing an active problem. And so
Yeah.
all of those things in concert is really the only reason this is being permitted.
Which is why, as soon as that situation starts to cool off, and all of a sudden we're gently guiding away from the door. And I don't know if
Or at
Straya's
least attempting to.
attempting to gently guide away from the door.
Lorenzo, Dessou, are you guys doing anything, or are you just kind of watching this unfold?
This is the most interesting thing that's happened when he caught a Ravager. It's like, oh wow. She's just kind of, there's
Spoken like a
no, I don't know if
privateer
any
who
of
doesn't
his,
have genuine loyalty.
You know? Yeah, I don't know if any of his crew members are around. But if Dasu's next to him, he's like, does this mean we're still privateers? Because he's not. Never mind. He just keeps watching.
Suit does
Are we
not
free?
respond. He's just like staring blankly at where the Psion used to be, and it just kind of more being pushed by the crowd and actually moving himself.
Okay.
I will also say that as the rocks begin to lift back up into the sky, Lucien kind of just, whatever he was doing, just stops dead, stops talking, and just stares them down as they disappear behind the clouds. And it takes him a second to kind of regain composure.
Yeah, I think when you regain your composure, it's Captain Trudeau who just suddenly appears in your eye shot, grabs you by the shoulder, and goes, Lucien, I understand you want to help. The best thing you can do right now is not interrupt our work. Go somewhere else. Go to whatever inn you're staying in. It is time to be out of this place.
He is going to look at her, not respond, then turn around and continue shouting commands at people.
You outrank her. And so she lets you go for the moment. Since you are not being unhelpful, you're just kind of being a neutral force. This goes on for about 20-30 minutes. You guys can see that people are they're backed out to a perimeter, but a number of the public are just sort of hanging at the edge of that perimeter because this is a crime scene and their king was just killed.
At some point, maybe after 10 minutes, Vale is going to get in between the door and Straya and just put his hands on her shoulders and say, breathe. Just breathe for a minute. We will figure out what happened.
You don't understand. I need to get in there. I need to get in there right now.
There is no way with an army you could not get in this door right now. You're not going to get in right now. We can get you in, because obviously you need to talk to him. That is going to take time. This building is locked down so tight, it would be impossible. We would have to fight our way in, and we would fail.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I need to get in. I need to talk. I need to talk to him. I need to.
Straya, if we don't leave, we will both end up in a prison, and we will never see him. We need to go and walk away for a little bit, and we can come back. Lucien is an ambassador, whatever his job is. He can get
Lucien,
in.
when you say that, she's gonna walk away and look for Lucien and just
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Yep. Straya, go ahead and give me an investigation check to find Lucien in the crowd.
Okay. Oh gosh.
I'm just gonna roll.
Just look for the shine or the sparkle.
I am going to
Just a
roll a
little bit above
d20 to
everybody
set
else's
the
head.
DC for
you mean the
this.
glisten?
16.
I rolled a d20 to set your DC.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a natural 20.
That's so dumb.
I think
I
what
think-
occurs here is less of a you can't spot Lucien, and more of a you see him, but you are physically ushered by Psion's guards back behind the perimeter.
Ugh.
I follow.
You follow.
Not hard to find him. Somehow his shirt's off already, even though he's just trying to help people, and he's just.
He got. Hey, listen.
there.
He got sweaty.
Look, they're in the open sun. It's a good time to tan. The UV index is just right.
Yeah.
Lucien is the new cast member for Baywatch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
You're a hard out, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Lorenzo, do you think you join Vale and Straya at this point, or what are you doing?
At this point, he's kind of as much as he's kind of like, oh, he doesn't care, this is a big deal, and he's kind of like enamored by that a little bit, and he's just like, honestly, at this point, I feel like he's put together, oh, wait a minute, I think my brother cared about this guy. Where did he go? And then realizes he probably won't be able to get to Lucian at least yet. And so, yeah, he'll probably follow after them.
Okay, sounds good. And given that Sam has left the table, Dessou, what are you doing? He's just arrived back. Dessou, what are you doing?
No, he never left. You just couldn't see him.
Oh, okay. Blended into the wall.
I drink a lot of water.
Uncast invisibility. And
Crowd's been backed out to a perimeter. Lorenzo is joining Vale and Straya, who are now behind that perimeter.
Currently, Sue is kind of just lost in the crowd. He's probably closer to the perimeter because he, again, has just not really moved unless he's been forcibly pushed
You've
back.
been forcibly pushed back. Like, the perimeter, they've said, is a couple 100 feet.
And again, he's just kind of lost in his head at this moment as he kind of is looking to where the Psion had been while he was giving his speech. In his mind, he's still seeing the recording that had been taken of when his parents had been announcing 10th level magic that they were going to do. And so what he hears is countdown that they had set up for when they were going to announce that, kind of going between that, then the Psion announcing the crew of the Tides and Sleeping having captured the Ravager, and it sort of fades into sort of the clapping and the cheering and then the screaming, clapping, and he's just staring off, not seeing anything, just sort of lost in his head.
Yeah, as these images sort of flash back and forth and get overlaid on top of each other in your mind, there is just almost a dissociation from reality. Go ahead, and you've not had to do this yet, but roll me a loyalty saving throw. Because your 7th ability I've not had to play with yet.
Is this the first one?
Well, so
we've
played with Sanity. We haven't played with Tenacity yet, but Loyalty is now coming.
Yeah, famous people shouldn't make announcements from from whatever
Open
that's
air.
called.
Verandas.
Yeah.
Balconies.
Pages.
It seems to always go poorly for them.
What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
To a total of?
No, that's the total. 8.
Oh, you made that your neutral score.
Well, I rolled a 6. And so plus 2 to 8.
He did not make that his neutral score.
Gotcha.
No, I rolled bad.
Let me I want to check very quickly.
No, the DM is pulling up the rules.
I just want to see if he adds his proficiency to it.
Would make it a 10.
Right, well that's part of the reason I want to
If it's just a straight ability roll, technically no, but you are the DM, so you decide.
So there's a line in each of those. Are you proficient in wisdom saves?
Yes.
Okay, then you do
Wisdom
get to add your
saves.
proficiency bonus.
So that's a 10.
Okay, sounds good. A 10. Cool. Yeah, that's all. Lorenzo, how long do you think it takes before you just snap out of it? Yeah, the perimeter is set. It's been about 45 minutes. There's no clear action for you to take at this point.
Lucian or Lorenzo?
Do you mean Lucian or Lorenzo?
I meant Lucian. Did
said
I say Lorenzo?
Lorenzo.
Oh, that's my bad. I meant
sorry,
Lucian.
I was not listening. What did you just say?
How How long do you think it, it's been 45 minutes. There's no clear, directive for you to give. There's no more clear crowd control for you to do. What do you think you're going to do at this point?
I think Lucien right now is just in doing mode. So once there are no more people, he's going to try getting into the palace and just be like, okay, what do we do now? What's going on? Where am I going?
Yeah.
Kind of similarly to what Streo was trying to do. Just like, no, I have to go in there.
Yeah.
I am needed. I must be in there.
And so as soon as you get up to the gate, you get the same response. We are sorry, Ambassador. We cannot let you in.
But I am needed in the palace.
No, not at this moment.
But I am needed in the palace.
Not at this moment, you are not.
We are all needed. The entire population of Alano just saw the king, the Psion himself, get murdered. And at that point, he just kind of stops, looks at them and says, "Thank you for your service." Turns around, walks away.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
Okay, are you just...
I think he's just gonna wander the city.
Okay.
During all of that, do I ever see Lucien or just...
Yeah, no, I told you saw him, you just couldn't get to him. You were behind the perimeter. And so you see Lucien now beginning to wander off in just a random direction through the perimeter.
I'm gonna try and follow and just yell after him.
Okay, sounds good. I'm imagining at this point, because you were sort of at the palace steps and then you were ushered off to basically the nearest point to the palace steps on the perimeter. So in order to get to Lucien, you're going to end up rushing past Dessous as well as, Lorenzo's already with you. So on your way to get to Lucien, Strea, Vale, and Lorenzo, you guys see right there, just sort of standing spaced out, is Dessous. What do you guys do? Is anybody going to grab him, shake him, or are you just pushing past?
Aren't we just a great team?
I know for me, I'm just locked in on Lorenz.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll grab him by his collar.
Okay.
And
sounds good. Dessous, you are just sort of yanked. You get shepherd crooked off the screen and into the chase for Lucien.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, very, very anime, like Avatar: The Last Airbender style. You know, he's there for a minute. His collar stretches an inordinate length. And
the neck becomes a little disjointed and elongated, and then yeah.
Looney Tunes cloud outline.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you trudge through thick crowd of people. You can, barely over the din hear, I'm sure, just the shouts of various different people discussing, what does this mean? Is there a way to bring him back? Is Verlon the Fourth the new Psion? Like all these different, like, just passing conversations.
Yeah, the resurrection magic exists in this world.
It is a thing.
I know that it might not happen, but the fact that it is a possibility and I've completely forgotten about it.
Yeah, resurrection magic is a thing. One of the things that is generally true is that there are not a lot of clerics who can perform it, and it's been an hour, which means you're looking at higher and higher levels as time goes on. Mm-hmm. And you're also in a place which isn't necessarily known for its clerical practices as much as its psionic practices. So part of you wonders, as soon as it occurs to you, oh yeah, resurrection magic, you remember, oh wait, I came from a place where resurrection magic was normative, and this wasn't normative. Here, it's very possible that those things are flipped, or that resurrection magic just isn't normal. as you guys make your way through the crowd, eventually you break out sort of that back end as the stragglers become fewer and far between. It's probably, from perimeter to sort of where the last couple people are, probably a good, 70 feet deep of people, all the way around a probably, 600 or 700 foot perimeter. Very, very populated. Seems very few people actually left. More people probably came. And so you break through the crowd and you see Lucien just kind of walking off down the street. And I'm assuming you are all just dashing towards him.
Yeah.
Fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still animals though.
Lucien, we have to get in. I have to get in. What are you doing? We got to go back to the palace.
I don't think we're gonna get into the palace.
No, it's not we can't. We have to. Like, go back to your friend, El Capitan, and ask her to let us in. Right? She's
just the captain of a god in a small part of town. She doesn't have any power. She doesn't have any pull, any...
But you went to her earlier for like a letter or something? Like,
yes, for a letter.
She can help.
No, she cannot.
Well, what's the point of your role if you can't get us in the palace?
My role is not to be... I don't know the Psion. I have no pull that high up. Do you know how many people are that close to him? Because I don't. And I have worked in his palace for many years. Just let it be for now.
As you guys walk the winding streets of Aleno, between stacked old buildings and arches, old frameworks, do you think you go back to the Gilded Galleon? Do you think you just wander until it's dark? Do you think you split up?
I would probably go back to the Gilded Galleon.
Okay.
Bill's going wherever Straya goes.
Lorenzo would probably... Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna ask if Vale was letting go of Dessou or if he's dragging him.
I mean, if Dessou looks like he's awake, yes. If Dessou looks like he's still... the birds are fluttering over his head, then probably not.
He's still not.
Cool. Then
Looks
yeah,
out of
no,
it.
you're getting a 5-star ride across town, being dragged by one hand.
5 stars, one hand.
5 fingers. Lorenzo would probably would kind of follow Lucien.
Lucien?
I think for now, Lucien is just walking around town.
Okay. As the party sort of splits into Lucien meandering around town with Lorenzo at his side, Vale, Straya, Dessou, you guys are making your way back to the Gilded Galleon. Vale, out of the corner of your eye, you think for a moment you see the symbol of the Way of the Vasham-Klinga.
Oh.
Immediately looks to see if he can get any more detail where he saw it. Like, was it by a shop? Was it in an alley? Like, just details.
Yeah. It's out of the corner of your eye. You immediately turn your head around. You see that it wasn't, as you sort of refocus and examine, it's not the symbol of the Way of the Vashram Klinga. What it actually is it appears to just be like a holy symbol over a chapel that loosely resembles the Way of the Vashram Klinga, but it's clearly, it's not that. It looks like a derivation of some kind.
How close are we to the Gilded Galleon?
You're still you're on your way back. You've probably still got another 30 minutes walk.
Drea, drag him for me. And just hands Dessou to Straya. I'll meet you back at the Gilded Galleon.
Where are you going?
Just give me a minute. I saw something. I need to go look at it.
Fine, whatever. Just grab Dessou's collar. Continue the dragging.
Yeah, Dessou just
Bro, I can space out.
Vale, you walk over to this chapel, high stone arches, very tall steeple, and you see just carved into the arch over top of the entrance to the chapel, the Sunspire Chapel of Alano.
Sunspire Chapel. What does the artwork like? Is the artwork reminiscent of the?
One of the things that you'll notice, so the Way of the Vashram Klinga has a lot of heavy symbology and imagery around Aedos, but also around Mavica. And one of the things that you are noticing is, and specifically not worshipful imagery, but it's very heavily included within their imagery.
Right, the battle between them and that sort of thing.
Right, precisely. And sort of the two of them as sort of equal opposites, constantly in combat, but obviously Aedos being the better figure of the two.
The cream that rises to the top. Yeah.
Yes. You're noticing this particular chapel lacking, at least in its exterior, in anything, and this is what you notice now as you're taking a closer look at it. The holy symbol doesn't have anything which you would have been taught growing up is a part of the symbol which is reflective of Mavica. That there are parts of the holy symbol of the Way of the Vashram Klinga which are reflective of Aedos and parts which are reflective of Mavica. And those two parts are sort of overlapped to each other with Aedosian symbology on top, and you're not seeing the Mavican symbology underneath in this situation. And that's the primary thing that, at least from the exterior of the chapel, you're able to notice.
is weird.
Yeah.
Vale. Yeah, I feel super conflicted about this. I'm gonna walk in.
Okay. You open the door to this chapel, and you see pews stretching out in rows before you. And you see sort of an altar at the front, not very heavily resembling that of the Way of the Vashram Klinga, sort of the chapel structure you're used to. But you notice, firstly, this space is filled with a lot more light.
Wood?
What?
Did you say wood or weight?
Light.
Light.
Light, completely wrong. Okay.
Proceed.
is filled with a lot of light. Yes, you see the space is very bright. All of the windows are stained glass. It is a lot of imagery of sort of historical saints and figures like that. You don't recognize any of the saints being referenced in the stained glass imagery. Or rather, you can only assume that they are saints because they are preserved in the stained glass. You see a couple of different parishioners sort of sitting in the pews. No clear figurehead in the room at the moment.
Vale, yeah, I just kind of stand there in the doorway. Like, he took a couple of steps in, and he's just kind of frozen. And he's just standing there looking. And he's gonna stand there for a few minutes.
Cool. Yeah, as you're standing there, a sort of, I don't think you see him until he rests his hand on your shoulder, but coming up on your right, a sort of mid-40s human man, sort of short blonde hair, sort of coiffed up. He's got very faint crow's eyes, spectacles of some kind, and then bright white robes, clerical robes. And he walks up to you and says, "My child, welcome to the Sunspire Chapel. How can I be of aid to you?"
When he touches Vale's shoulder, Vale's very zoned out. And when he does so, he jumps away, and by the time he realizes that it's a priest, the sword is half out of its sheath.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you begin to pull the sword. Yeah. He goes, "My apologies, I did not mean to startle you."
Or sorry, the axe, not sword.
Yeah, the axe, yes.
But yeah. He's like, "Sorry, I have not been inside a chapel in a while. I was not paying attention."
That is completely fine. You are welcome to come and see it. May I ask why if you have been away for a while, what brings you into the Sunspire Chapel today?
I saw the logo, and I'm not from here. I'm from Omerzel, and saw the logo, and it caught my eye.
Yes, the way of the Vashumklinga. Well, we are not followers of that same religion. We believe in one of their gods, but we do not hold in esteem the wicked entity that they call Mavica.
Yeah. I have been around their sect quite a bit. There's some marked differences.
I would hope so. And he begins to chuckle. Well, you are welcome to stay and sit in the chapel if you so desire.
I look so deeply uncomfortable.
Or you are allowed to leave. That is, we will neither keep you nor reject you.
He just looks like he's at a loss for words. And yeah.
If it is your desire to stand in the atrium, you are more than welcome to do so.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Vale.
He holds out his hand. Jean-Luc.
Shakes his hand.
And as you shake his hand, we are going to finish this episode of Tavern of Tomes, this chapter 21 of the Voyages of the Tides Unsleeping.
Tavern of Tomes can officially drink alcohol in the United States of America.
Yes.
We can
Before
drink with our story.
Yay! Before we go, does anybody have anything they want to plug?
Yes, as always. Oh shoot! As always, I stream over on Twitch, Flightless Birds. I also stream on Kick and YouTube, and also post videos on YouTube. Please come and watch me. I need people. Please love me. Please show me attention.
Show me some attention.
Fantastic. So that's Flightless Birds. Anything else?
Yep, still doing multi-nerds, even from across the ocean.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I don't know if we officially said it. Rachel's in Korea.
We whispered it a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it got mentioned. But yeah. Very happy for her. Woo.
Be on the lookout. I'm halfway through an essay that I've wanted to write for a long time, and I'm gonna post it at least some places on storytelling and things like that. So, yeah.
Where will they be able to find that?
I will make it public when it's out. I think it probably Substack, but I haven't actually created a Substack account yet. So
Okay, sounds good. So that content's coming. Alex, Sam, you guys got anything?
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. I'm actually posting now, so that's exciting. Magic Missile Mini. I
They're great. Go watch them videos.
I sculpt miniatures for D&D, a little bit of Warhammer stuff. Do all that by hand. I made this guy today. Whoa! But yeah, so check me out. I'm doing just D&D miniature sculpting.
Yeah, it's sick.
Also, my band, Kin, K-Y-N, we released a new single recently. We're working on another album. So I don't know when this is going to come out, how delayed that is. So there's a chance that there's an album out now. I don't actually know.
This will not next Saturday, but this will be coming out. The turnaround is much shorter now. This will be coming out September 6th.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
You and Katya could just absolutely go crazy for 2 weeks, and something could happen.
What I will say
working like 3 jobs, probably not.
Yeah, fair.
What I will say then, we have a show coming up September 21st. Montrose Saloon at 6 p.m. for those of you in Chicago. Yeah, if you're in Chicago, come check us out. Reese is drumming for us.
It's going to be sick.
So we're very excited.
Sam?
SamuelBone.substack.com. By the time this gets out, kind of story that I've been writing on there will kind of reach the finale. So, that.
Very nice. And as always, check our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Tavern of Tomes, capital T in Tavern and Tomes. If you are a regular, we have bonus content that is coming for you. We have a mini series that's going to be 2 episodes long. It will probably be releasing in September, but it might be October. We have some fantastic guest stars that are coming on. It's some really fun steampunk stuff, completely different world. So check that out. It is a blast. It is awesome. And thank you all for joining us. You're always welcome at the tavern. And come back next week, because this story's not over yet. We love you all. Good night.
Good night.